Mr. Gavaskar, is this the best start Team India could have had to the Champions Trophy?
Yes, I think it's a terrific start. A winning start is always a very good start. But I think there are certain areas where the Indian team can improve. Certainly the bowling, for example, because to allow another team to score 300 runs means that you haven't really bowled well. I know that this was a very good pitch to bat on. The conditions were very good for batting. So yes, you expected big scores. But still, I thought the bowling needs to be looked at by the coaching staff.
Also, sir, talking about one of the highlights of the game, what would you have to say about the knock that Shikhar Dhawan played yesterday?
It was a very good innings. The way he compiled it, the way he constructed the innings. He played second fiddle to Rohit Sharma at the start, but he got himself in. He got the measure of the pitch and then he started to open up. And I think that shows his maturity. He wasn't just trying to match Rohit Sharma shot for shot. He waited for his opportunities and then he grabbed them. And then to bat after he got that crunch over just behind the ear also takes a lot of guts. So I think in all departments, technique and temperament, he came through with flying colours.
Sir, talking about Shikhar Dhawan, staying on that topic, India is without the services of Virender Sehwag and Gautam Gambhir for this tournament. Would you say the men in blue have found an answer for them, their replacements rather, in Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan?
I think it is early days, to say goodbye to those two. I think those two have, cricket left in them. But I think this is a very good start. And I think we shouldn't look too far ahead. We should just look at this particular tournament. And at the moment, Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan have done well in the first match. So we should be happy with that. And I think like Mahendra Singh Dhoni says, let's focus one game at a time.
So going by the result that you saw in Cardiff, would you say now India are favourites in the next game, which is versus the West Indies?
Well, it all depends on the kind of conditions because, the weather conditions in England can change within hours. So if you noticed when the toss was done for the India-South Africa game, it was overcast. And that might have tempted the South Africans to put the Indians in. But within half an hour, before the first ball was bowled, the sun had come out. So to a great extent, it negated any advantage the South African swing bowlers would have got from the overcast conditions. So we don't know what the conditions will be. So the conditions will make a big difference. But if it's a bright sunny day and the pitches are like what we've seen here in Cardiff, then I think with the kind of batting combination, the bowling that they have, I think India should prevail.
And so, judging by the way they won in Cardiff, would you say the Indians are enjoying themselves on the field? And that's probably what's reflected most on the result in Cardiff.
I think so. I think generally when India plays outside of India, there's a lot less pressure. Although there's a lot of support for them everywhere they go. I think the pressure that they feel, the constant being under constant observation, which is there in India, is not there. They can move around the streets freely. They can go shopping. They can eat out. So they get to do these little things which they cannot do in India. And I think that in a way, because that in a way relaxes them. And once a player is relaxed, then he tends to give off his best.
Final question, Mr. Gavaskar. India virtually played in front of a home crowd in Cardiff, keeping in mind the Indian support over there. Did you suppose that the support made a difference in our win?
That is, I think, Indian cricket's biggest blessing, to be able to get the support that they get from the Indians all over the world. I think that is the biggest blessing that Indian cricket has. And I think that blessing has to be capitalized on. That blessing is something that the Indian team needs to feed on and give its best performance. I think all those who support and follow Indian cricket, all that they ask is 100% effort. Today we saw much more than that. We saw much more than that on the field, the way the Indians were diving and throwing themselves about. So even if there was a little bit of bad bowling, which we saw, and which allowed South Africa to get to 300 plus, it was the effort level that was most heartening.